Yeah. Wait, what does this do? Hey, yo, hold up. Bah, wait, hold up, bro. Ooh! Wizard101 just added new lore spells for the first time in years. Y'all, we got another amazing test run video today. We're gonna be talking about all of the new spells that they added into the game that, you know, like literally are new. Now, what's crazy is that they kind of went ham with this. It's not just the Divum spells that, you know, you might see if you go to the test vendor over here. They added Spellments to test all of the new updated spells. We got Catch the Day, Burning Rampage, Headless Horseman. We even got a completely new spell called Monk of Morning. I've never seen this. I thought I'd go through them for the people that didn't know about these and talk, you know, just review them, talk about them. So let's start with the Divum spells. Now, these are basically one for each school, which is actually very different than what they've done in the past. Presumably, this is going to be in a pack and farmable spellment-wise, you know, using gold keys. And normally what they do when they do stuff like this, they normally only add a spell for like 3 schools and then save the rest of the schools for a future update. But as you can see, every single school got a new, basically like a Divum spell, I guess. They're all Divum from Chrysalis. These were teased on the Twitter account. A lot of people were wondering what's happening, but this is what's happening. So let's take a look at them. In my opinion, the fire one is literally the biggest game changer known to mankind for fire. For 3 pips and 1 fire school pip, you can not only do up to 400 damage, but you can also heal for up to 700 HP over time. Y'all actually might not know this, but fire is supposed to be somewhat of a healing school. That's why the spellment path for Phoenix involves heals if you have OTs on your opponent. It's also why Power Link exists. It's also why Infernal Oni is a spell that rewards you for putting multiple overtime heals on yourself. But this is the first time that fire has gotten a spell that is literally a heal, it's protected, and it's for 5 rounds. The only other hit that does a protected heal that's a lore spell is Berry Surprise, and as you guys can see, not only is the damage lower, even though the healing over time component of Berry is around the same, it's only for 3 rounds. That means that fire can actually use this heal over time that they have on themselves for 5 rounds to set up stuff that Storm actually can't, which maybe makes fire better at healing than Storm with this spell alone. Keep in mind that the pin update did add outgoing pins for fire, so you could actually run up to 46 outgoing with 2 of these, like on your whole gear. So you could actually run a real healing setup that you just could not do in Live Realm at all. This is a huge deal for fire. I'm gonna be honest, the other spells, I'm not sure how crazy they are. Like the ice one, it's basically just a hit that adds a universal 40 trap. And yes, the 40 trap is very powerful. Like, I get why someone might think it's really good, but I feel like a trap is pretty easy to counter in PvP. You literally just shield over it, you weakness over it. It is very heavy in pips for a trap. I think the only school that can use this is ice, because it is an odd pip spell, right? 3 pips and 1 school pip, that's 5 in total. So maybe you could, you know, use this and, you know, pip conserve into a hit. Maybe. I don't really imagine this being any better than another shield breaking spell like Frostbite. It's decent though. Honestly, they can't all be winners. Speaking of how they can't all be winners, Storm got, in my opinion, not that much of a winner spell. And I'm just not convinced, right, on how well this could work. The idea is Storm is also a healing school, right? The idea is that it hits and then extends heals by 2 turns. See, there's positives and negatives to this. I feel like the fact that it's literally just 1 pip and a school pip, this might be the cheapest school pip spell that we've ever gotten. The downsides, Storm is not a school that can really run high pip conserve with most of their setups. So you're basically most of the time, even though it's a 3 pip spell, you're probably going to end up using 4 pips, right? If you have 2 power pips, you're not going to save that extra pip with that pip conserve. I am going to test it because I want to know if extending a heal removes the protection on a heal, because there used to be spells that extended damage over times and they removed the protection on those. If heals get their protection removed, then people can literally steal them. So I feel like extending a heal just for it to get stolen is simply not the wave. So I want to test it before I say it's useless or not. If this doesn't remove the protection, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I'm gonna take back what I said. It's actually kind of good, but I don't know. See, that's the thing, right? Are you giving them a better heal to steal, or are you just giving yourself a better heal, period, right? Like, what if you have a gigantic heal and you extend it? I need to know how this works. Okay, so we need a bunch of Storm pips for this, and then I'm gonna try to bury into it, and then I want to see if the berry stays protected, because if it stays protected, W. If not, I don't know about all that. Okay, so we got the berry heal on us, right? Nice. Now for 3 pips, I'm gonna hit and extend it and essentially get 400 around 2 more rounds, right? That's the idea behind this. But, oh my god, this looks epic, by the way. Hey, can we talk about this? Epic animations. Yo, wait, what does this do? Hey, yo, hold up. Bah, wait, hold up, bro. Ooh, oh. Wait. It actually doesn't remove, oh wait, I was wrong. Okay, can I be honest? I take back what I said. It could be really good. Wow, that's actually kind of good. Wait, so my ass, can I be honest? I thought that the protection on this would be removed if you extended it because you're acting on it, but you don't remove the protection, meaning you could theoretically do like a dark and stormy, right? Like a whole dark and stormy and increase it by 40%. So that's essentially 2 rounds of the 5, right? So you could be looking at a combo where you're breaking shields and extending a really good heal. So this could actually be very good for Storm. The other Divum spells are very, solid. I don't think they're good or terrible. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I feel like the myth one, it's just a damage overtime that detonates in 5 rounds, and there's all kinds of things you could do on a myth to work with overtimes that stay on your opponent for that long. Interestingly, so is the life one and the myth one are basically the same, except the life one is 4 pips because it's not 3 pips in a school pip, it's 2 in a school pip. So maybe this could actually be better. I really don't know. I think a 5-round OT is really cool. Now keep in mind, this one does not detonate in 5 rounds like the myth one. It acts every round, so it could just be a 5-round shield breaker for 4 pips. Could be a lot of offensive utility. Very solid spell for life. And the remaining 2 are not as solid. I will say that much. I think Death is just a hidden blade for 4 pips. It's a universal blade. I feel like Death has many better spells than this. I don't recommend using this. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. And Balance is the weirdest one I've seen yet. It could be good. Now, here's the thing, right? Obviously, the effect is kind of like 375 damage is pretty low for 4 pips. And also, it leaves 2 infection traps on your opponent. That's what that is. And the only way I can see this being good is if you're trying to set up something that gets more powerful with traps and you're going against a school that doesn't heal, so they won't remove the infection. So maybe like, a balanced Jhin setup, maybe it could be like that against non-healing schools. Seems kind of situational, not gonna lie. All in all, the Divum spells, they could all add something to every school for the most part, especially the schools that really need more stuff in their toolkit. So big W's on them, big W. As far as the other spells, they're very interesting. The other lore spells that they've added. So there's a bunch of spells, right, that you can only farm for right now, and now they've added Spellman pads and places where you can farm those Spellmans with gold keys. And some of them haven't really changed. Catch of the Day, for example, gets a Spellman pad. It just gets 60 damage more powerful, but the effect is still the same, and now anyone can farm. Any school that uses this will get blades for their school. If a fire uses this, they get fire. So ideally, if you're running secondary storm damage, you can do this, do a little bit of damage, get very powerful blades for your school. That's the idea with this. The other droppable only spells that they added Spellmans to are Burning Rampage. Again, gets a little bit more powerful. The OT is chromatic, meaning it's kind of weird actually. If like a life uses Burning Rampage, the overtime part that detonates in 5 rounds is a life overtime, and it also uses life buffs, but the actual damage of it is based on your fire stats. Little bit of a weird one. I don't know exactly if that complexity of it is helpful or not, but that is how this works in case you were wondering. And potentially the biggest surprise of them all, they removed the absorb on Sacred Charge and made it into a hit and aura. This is currently one of the rarest spells in game because you have to do the gold key boss in Darkmoor in order to get this, and now you can farm for Spellmans, and it's a hit and aura. It's a hit and healing aura. Eventually you'll do the damage that it says, and then you'll get for 4 rounds an aura that increases your healing by 20%. It is pretty pricey at 4 pips and a life pip, but the damage is pretty good at max tier, so it could be kind of useful, I'm not gonna lie. And finally, the last spell that they added, which is kind of strange, is Monk of Mourning. It is a complete mirror of Headless Horseman. So if y'all don't know, Headless Horseman was planned, I assume, to be released in Halloween, and the Spellmans that you can farm for it would give you a double weakness situation. But they've added just an entire copy of that spell that's farmable outside of that season. So you could farm Headless for Spellmans during Halloween, I assume at an increased drop rate, or or you could farm year-round from Monk of Morning from whatever boss, whatever gold key boss they have it in. This is exciting, though, because finally, it looks like Death is getting a non-Shad that's also a hit and double weakness, right? Grim Reader was a hit and double weakness. Now they're getting a lore spell that does that. It could make Death an extremely annoying school to go against. 35 weaknesses that are based on the school of your opponent. That's what this is. Kind of nuts. I think if I had to say, every school got an insanely useful spell, except maybe Balance and almost certainly Ice. I feel like they just didn't get that much with spells this update, but every other school, they're going to be having fun. I feel like this is going to be totally different when it comes to PvP. There's a lot of weird new identities cropping up left and right with these lore spells, and I'm really glad that they're starting to add new lore spells again. We haven't had one since the Ravenwood Spellmans came out. The only new spells we've had is when they changed the Spellman path, so now we're finally getting new spells again. That's something to be excited about every single time they release a Horde pack, a new, like, you know, like maybe a new world. There could be lore spells based on anything now that are released at any sort of schedule that we're just not used to. Really fun stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you were wondering about everything that they added, I thought, you know, why not cover all of it? Let me know what you guys think of all the spells, all the new mechanics. What do you think is OP? What do you think could be better? As always, I look forward to reading all of y'all's comments. Stay awesome. See y'all soon. And yeah.